Okay, Saxon 4 math class, we're ready for lesson 72, finding information to solve problems. We're going to start off with some examples. Example 1 says, read this information, then answer the questions that follow. I'm going to give you a test-taking strategy though. Sometimes it's a good idea to read over the questions so you'll know what you're looking for. Okay, so let's look at A. How many votes did Tariq receive? Who received the most votes, and speeches were given on the Tuesday before the elections. What was the date on which the speeches were given? So now let's go back and read the information. School elections were held on Friday, February 2nd. That's going to help us figure out the Tuesday before, okay? Tayana, Lily, and Tariq ran for president. Lily received 146 votes and Tiana received 117 votes. But we've got to figure out Tariq. Tariq received 35 more votes than Tiana. Okay, now how many votes did Tariq receive? We have to do a math problem for that. Okay, so Tariq received 35 more than Tiana. Tiana received 117 plus 35 more. 7 plus 5 is 12. 3 and 1 is 5. Okay, so our answer to A, this is what Tariq received. Okay, 152, and we would label that with votes. Who received the most? If we look back at all of the tallies, 146, 117, and 152, that would be Tariq. And I think I spelled that correctly. Speeches were given on the Tuesday before the elections. What was the date on which the speeches were given? Okay, if Friday was February 2nd, if we go, Thursday would be the 1st, right? Wednesday would be the 31st, and Tuesday would have been the 30th. That would have been Tuesday, January 30th. Okay, let's look. Let's look at example 2. Alyssa collects keychains from different states she's visited and displays them on a pegboard. Since Alyssa lives in Nebraska and her grandmother lives in Ohio, she always keeps the Nebraska and Ohio keychains on the first 2 pegs. Okay? How many different ways can Alyssa arrange the keychains in one row? So let's pretend that Nebraska is going to be first, okay, and then Ohio. That's the first part that we're going to assume. Then we're just working with Texas, Maine, and Florida. So that simplifies the problem just a little bit. If we have Nebraska first and then Ohio, okay? Then we're working with Texas, Maine, and Florida. And we can have them in this order. Or we could have Maine, and then Texas, and then Florida. Or we could have Florida, and Texas, and Maine. So let's take a look. Let me pause. Okay, another option with Texas first would be Florida next, and then Maine, right? So here are my 2 Texas first options. We could also have Maine in that first spot, and then Florida, and then Texas. Or we could have 2 combinations of Florida being first. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ways. And that's if we have Nebraska first and then Ohio. But we know that these 2 are always on the first 2, but it didn't say which one was which. So what if we had Ohio first and then Nebraska? And then we could have these 6 ways again, right? So 6 combinations with Nebraska first and then Ohio, 6 more combinations with Ohio first and then Nebraska, and that would be 12 different ways all together. Now let's look at some lesson practice. Read this information, then solve the problems that follow. Let's look at the questions first, though. How many hours did Terrell work in all? How much money did Terrell earn in the morning? And how much money did Terrell earn in all? Okay, Terrell did yard work on Saturday. He worked for 3 hours in the morning and 4 hours in the afternoon. He was paid $6 for every hour he worked. How many hours did Terrell work in all? 4 in the morning. I'm sorry, 3 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon. That would be 7 hours. Now, how much money did he earn just in the morning? 3 hours in the morning times $6 an hour, $18. But how much money did Terrell earn in all? 7 hours altogether times $6 an hour, $42. How many different amounts of money could you make using any two of the three coins shown below? Name the amounts. Well, we could have the quarter and the dime, and that would be 35 cents. We could have the quarter and the 50-cent piece, and that would be 75. Or we could have the dime and the 50-cent piece, and that would be 60 cents. So 3 different amounts. Okay, let's go back now. And you'll need to check your work for 71. So let's find that. Written practice. Hit pause as you check 1 through 6. Hit pause as you check 7 through 11. Hit pause as you check 12 all the way to 29. And hit pause as you check 30. Okay, now we're going to look at our power up. Your job is to try to do these as fast as I can write the answers. Sorry about that. Okay, and we are finished. I lied. We're not finished. We have to do some mental math. So let me bring that up. Here we go. Okay, let's look at 2 times 12. You know that's 24. Tack on a 0. Look at 3 times 12. 36. Tack on a 0. 4 times 12. 48. Tack on a 0. Okay, let's look at 36, and let's pretend that this is plus 30. Okay, that would be 66. Take away 1, 65. Okay, 200, and then we had 65. Now add 30 more, 295. Lucas bought a roll of film for $4.87 and batteries for $3.98. What was the total cost? Let's pretend that $3.98 is $4. We'll subtract 2 cents when we're finished. So add $4 to this and you've got $8.87. Take away 2 and you've got $8.85. The baseball game started at 7:05 p.m. and lasted 1 hour 56 minutes. What time did the game end? If we pretend that this is really 2 hours, how many minutes away from 2 hours is it? It's 4, isn't it? So we'll add on 2 hours and then we'll take away 4 minutes. So let's look at this. Let's add on 2 hours. Now take away 4 minutes. 9:01 p.m. 1 mile is about 1,609 meters. Round this length to the nearest 100 meters. The 6 is in the hundreds place. I only look to the digit to the right. The 0 tells me the 6 stays the same. 1,600 meters. Here we go. Calculation. Half of 6 is 3 times 2 is 6 times 5 is 30. Subtract, if this were 15, the answer would be 15, but we're taking away one more, so that's 14. Levon has 3 colors of shirts, red, white, and blue. He has 2 colors of pants, black and tan. What combinations of one shirt and one pair of pants can Levon make? So red, white, blue, and black and tan. Red, white, blue for the shirts, and black or tan. So if we go red shirt with the black pants or red shirt with the tan, that's 2 different ways. We could have the white shirt with the black or the white shirt with the tan. That's 2 more ways. We could have the black on black or the black with tan. So 2, 4, 6 ways. And we did a little diagram too, a little bit differently, basically the same thing. And we are finished.